It took a lot for me to actually sit down, set up to film this video because the topic is kind of touchy and almost a little bit emotional. Today I want to talk about post-grad depression. You may be wondering, like, you just graduated, what are you depressed about, or what the heck does that even mean? It's supposed to be the best time of your life. You have a whole degree, you're probably going to school or going to start a job or something. What the heck are you talking about? So basically what that phrase, that term means is the period. I don't even know I don't think there's a time limit on it. It's just a period after you graduate from undergrad and you're just in a transitionary point, trying to figure out life and trying to figure out the world as an adult and your place in society, really. So a lot of people have been asking me, what's next for me? Am I working? Am I going to school? Am I staying in New Orleans and I'm moving back home? So many questions. And honestly, I can't answer half of them. I'm laughing, but it's scary. Like people ask me what's next and I don't know what to tell them, really. You know, I smile and I tell them the plan that I've had for myself ever since I could remember. But honestly, I don't know. You know, I've been home for a little over a month. Maybe it's probably 2 months now. But literally the first month I was home, I was just sad. I was so sad. And I mean, like, every day I don't know, it was rough. It was tough. And, you know, I felt good because I had a degree. I accomplished the first step of my goal. But I was tired. You know, college took a lot out of me, especially senior year. That took a lot to finish. And I was drained. And I don't think I realized just how drained I was until, like, all of the partying stopped and all of my friends weren't there with me every day. And I was just by myself now. You know, so when you're by yourself, you get to be one with your thoughts and you get to really just feel everything you're feeling. And I wasn't feeling those things before, if that makes sense. You know, at school, you're worried about finals and papers and tests. And, like, for me, the last couple of weeks, I had 2 deaths in my family. So I had that going on. So that's emotional stress, right? I didn't go to class for a whole week. So that was that. I had the funeral the week before my finals. So before the funeral, I had a couple of tests, a couple of assignments that I had to get done. We went to Miami for the funeral. I came back Sunday morning. That night, I had a test, a paper, and I think another assignment due. And I thought that I had a final due on Monday night, but it turns out it was due on Sunday night as well. So just hearing that alone, you can just imagine how much stress I was under. Like, I would just cry randomly just on that Sunday alone, right? So luckily, once that was over, I came back home to do some things I had to take care of, went back to school, went out with my friends, drinks, lunch, Taco Tuesdays, whatever you want to call them. So, like, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not really, like, gathering my thoughts, expressing my emotions. I'm just living it up, having a great time. And then, so the following weekend was graduation day. So that whole week was just partying, out, just really enjoying my time in months before I left. I left Louisiana on Sunday. So then Monday I wake up and I'm back in Georgia. And I'm literally feeling like a fish out of water. I don't have my friends, I don't have my partner, I don't have any partying, any distractions from school, any outside stress. It's just me by myself. And I mean, yeah, my family's here and they're all excited for me and happy for me, and you know, but they don't know. I'm not saying that like I'm sad, I'm lost, I don't know what to do, right? So if any of you are like me and you go to church, everybody knows once you're away from church for a little bit and you go back, everybody and their grandma wants to talk to you, wants to hug you, ask you about school, ask you what's next. They want the full detail. And that's exactly what I got. Everybody was asking me, well, what are you doing next? When are you going to school? You know, telling me they're proud of me, but at the same time, in my head, I was hearing it and I was smiling and saying thank you and giving out hugs and congrats and, you know, being polite, but I wasn't believing it. For a moment, I kind of felt like I let myself down because I wasn't going straight to school, or I felt like I was in limbo, if that makes sense. I wasn't sure what I was doing. So I had come up with a plan, and then I suddenly felt like I didn't want to do that anymore. I just wanted to rest. I wanted to be on the beach. I wanted to be traveling in Europe and doing all these cute, fancy things with my friends and my girls and things like that, but I didn't have that. So that's that, right? And then once, you know, if you ever went away for school, you know how different it is when you come back home. Your parents probably still have in their mind how you were before you left for school. And yeah, I came back home on breaks, but it was only like maybe for a week, 2-3 weeks at a time. It was never an extended period of time, because even in the summers, I was gone for the most part. So you come back home and you're an adult in your head, you know. When you're at school, you don't have to answer to nobody. You don't have to let anybody know where you're going. You don't have to hear anybody calling your name, telling you to do dishes. It's just, you know, it's just different. It's just the transition to come back home just was non-existent. And if you follow me on Twitter, I've been posting a couple of post-grad life tweets. Day 1, day 13, day 30. Most of them have been really sad, honestly. Like, I'm not feeling it, not knowing what to do, where to go next. A few have been positive, like starting a job and just little small things throughout the day that I think are accomplishments for myself that I want to share with whomever is reading my tweets or whatever. And surprisingly, I've gotten really good feedback on them. Like, a lot of people I realize have been feeling similarly to me, and it's crazy because you would think you're the only one feeling that way. Like, no one is talking about not knowing what to do. No one is talking about being sad, whether after graduation or during undergrad. So now today is, I think, June 25th. And it's been about 45-ish days since graduating. Right now, I feel much better than I did feel at the end of May and the beginning of this month. I'm trying to wrap my head around life and adjusting to living back home. I've been struggling a little bit though with finding people or having people to hang out with and just go out with, because like I said, my friends they were at school with me. When I came back home, I had maybe 1 or 2 people I could call or text and maybe link up, but they're probably moved away for jobs or school or, you know, things like that. So just even having to be readjusted to living back home. That's crazy, isn't it? Like, you have to restart your life in the place you grew up. Make it feel like home again, you know, find your space in a city that was moving on and doing all these things without you. People you went to high school with, people you might have been cool with even while y'all were in school, they kept on moving on, as did you, but you did it in a different city. Now you gotta come back here, come back to home, and do it again, or start over again, or find a new place to grow, I guess. So I'll end with some positive notes, what's been helpful for me. Um, I find that one, I need time to just rest my mind, not think about school, not think about what's next. Just give myself time to really just live in the moment of being a recent graduate and being proud of myself, and just enjoying myself as best as I can right now. Because I'm only 22, I'm really, really young. So I have time to just live freely without any responsibilities, like marriage, kids, stuff like that. And just kind of figure out my place. So I wanna just do that. I wanna rest and just relax and breathe, and then recuperate, rejuvenate, and then figure out, what I'm actually doing. And it's weird because I've never been that person. I've never not known what's next. I've never not known what I'm doing. Like, I'm type A, like, to the max, So I've always known what I was doing. I graduated number 5 my high school class. I graduated cum laude at Xavier. So, I'm not used to not knowing what to do, I feel like people have always come to me for answers and with their questions. So I had to always keep it together. Now I feel like, I don't know, like, I don't know what's next. So I'm just trying to relax my mind, rest my mind, and then give myself time to be okay with not knowing exactly what my next step is, but just living in this moment. Number 2, I'll say, is really just trusting in God and really relying on Him and praying to Him and asking for clarity and patience, and removing the spirit of doubt and insecurities and sadness. Just really allowing Him to fill up this space right now. And life is very important, or whatever your spiritual beliefs are, allowing that to really just fuel you and just grow in that moment. What also helps for me is just reaching out and checking up on friends and classmates. Just even a simple text, hey, how are you? How's your summer been going? I'm wishing you luck on all your endeavors. So simple text like that can just start a whole conversation. And then next thing you know, somebody you didn't even realize would help you is helping you, just saying something positive. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I miss you, and then you're going to do great. Like, that helps a lot, because then you find out that, they may be going through the same things. And what I've also found is that some of my friends who do know, like, they're going straight to school or they have their jobs, even they're still trying to figure it out. So it's not even just me, right? I feel like everyone's on the same page. We're trying to figure out this new stage in life, this new transitionary point. Lastly, what I'll say is talk to your parents. And that's rough. It's tough for me because I never want to let them down, right? And I feel like for me, like for someone who has always said from jump, I wanted to be this when I get older. I want to be this. This is what I want to do. I've always worked towards that point. And now I'm saying, I don't really know if that's what I want to do. I'm not really quite sure. I don't want to let them down. So they're used to me having all my eggs lined up, all my ducks in a row, stuff like that. They're used to me knowing what I want to do, just going out and get it for myself. Now I have to actually sit and be vulnerable and open up and say, hey, like, this is what I'm struggling with. Help. You may be surprised once you talk to them and they'll let you know, hey, you're not letting me down. Like, I want you to figure it out. I want you to know what you want to do and do what's best for you. And my mom told me, she said, I'd rather you figure it out now then wait 10, 15, 20 years later and realize, hey, I don't want to do this. And now you're stuck in a career or you're stuck in school and you have so much debt when you could have just waited a couple of years or whatever, say out a few months, took your time and figured it out, what it is that you wanted to do. And then what I had to realize is that probably just sitting here and pretending that you're okay and that nothing is wrong, you're letting yourself down, most importantly. And at the end of the day, that's the only person you're living for is yourself. Like, you have to be happy. You have to be secure and okay with what you're doing in your life. So that's all I want to do with this video, is just hopefully start a positive and productive conversation. That's it.